When you hear the saying, leaves of 3, let it be, chances are the first plant you think of is the poison ivy. It also counts for the poison oak and the poison sumac, but those we will have a look at another day. It may also lead to misidentification of other 3-leafed plants, such as blackberries or the American hawk peanut. Anyway, sometimes confused for its significantly more posh counterpart, the English ivy, including by a certain Batman villain, the poison ivy is actually surprisingly difficult to identify. Formerly considered just a single species, we nowadays recognize 3 separate species of poison ivy: the eastern poison ivy, the western poison ivy, and the Asian poison ivy. The former 2 are native to North America, and the latter is native to East Asia. Most of our observations are attributed to the eastern poison ivy, which is why we will focus on it. You would think its leaves are what makes this plant recognizable, but Virginia Tech researchers found that poison ivy exhibits enormous amounts of leaf variation and that there is no clear ubiquitous poison ivy look. They also identified poison ivy plants with 5 leaves instead of 3, or leaflets to be precise. Basically, the conclusion was, if you're trying to identify poison ivy by its leaves alone, good luck, because it's probably not going to work. Instead, they recommend wearing protective clothing and immediately washing any potentially exposed area with soap and warm water. That is, ideally within 5 to 10 minutes of contact. Fun fact, this research was conducted during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, which apparently led to a rash of encounters with poison ivy as people ventured outside to explore. So, poison ivy is actually 3 separate species with a lot of variability. But what we can say more generally is that poison ivy can take on the form of a shrub or a vine. And, as a vine, it can climb by making use of hair-like aerial adhesive roots. It is also not a true ivy, but rather a member of the cashew and sumac family. Furthermore, while birds, insects and deer will happily chow down on it, and most animals are unbothered by it, we humans should avoid it. That is because the whole plant is filled with an oily resin called urushiol that can cause swelling and blistering rash on contact, though that response may be delayed by several days. However, it is not exactly true that poison ivy leaves are covered in poison. When you brush an intact plant, nothing will happen. Urushiol is only released when the plant is damaged. Of course, leaves and such can easily be damaged by passing animals, nibbling insects, or a strong wind. So maybe just be careful and don't touch it. Urushiol can also remain active for several years, so handling dead leaves or vines can cause a reaction. If you did come in contact with it, if you're not allergic to urushiol, again, nothing will happen. Yes, it is actually our own immune system that is a troublemaker here.